I, Devi Cherian, as a person, as a good human being, somebody who's very helpful to everybody, whether she knows them or not. And I think I'm a good mother, I'm a good daughter, I'm a good sister, and a good friend. I studied in Shimla. I'm a Himachali, and I got married at the age of 15. My father was in politics, and I was really young. 15 is, very, very small. Didn't understand what marriage means. I have a daughter who was born when I was 16, and it was a roller coaster ride from there onwards. Interesting, challenging, yet I must say I learned a lot through the years. I then shifted to Delhi in 1989 or 90, and the children were small. I started writing for Asian Age. That was my first paper that I wrote for, and I must say I made a good name there. I wrote for many years with Pioneer, Punjab Kesari, Tribune. Then I wrote for an international Punjabi paper called Punjabi News. I did a lot of TV shows for various channels, and but I was passionate about Himachal. I was born there, I was brought up there. My father was a true Himachali, my brother's a true Himachali who's also in politics, incidentally. And it was fun. My whole journey, I must say, when I look back, I have achieved a lot, for which I'm extremely grateful to God and my friends and circumstances, destiny. When you get married at the age of 15 and you have a daughter at 16, you literally grow up with the child. So I literally grew up with my daughter. We are best of friends now. I have a son, Chirag, and I must say they're my best friends. I have a great relationship with them. We can talk about good, bad, ugly, fun, everything I can sort of relate to them about. Of course, I learn a lot from them now because I feel that life is all about learning. It's all about experiencing what the others are going through, not literally, but while sharing stories. And I learn every day. Every day I come across something and say, oh God, how come I didn't know this, And it's fun. I lost my first husband at a very young age. My children were still small. I went through a tough period during those years between my first husband. Then I met Dilip, who also had been married and divorced by the time I met him. We were poles apart. I'm a Himachali, Dilip's a Keralite. Food was different, thoughts were different, cultures were different. He's a Christian, I'm a Hindu. Again, I learnt a lot. Again, I went through a lot. And it just worked out well. I think it's just a very positive attitude. You say, okay, yaar, it's happened, today will go, tomorrow will come, tomorrow's a new beginning. So it's just an extremely positive attitude, and which has helped me through life and everything. I always feel that God still has to give me the best. I think it's my mother, and I also think it's various people over various stages of my life. I've always said, yaar, mujhe uske jaise banna hai. If I meet somebody tomorrow I'm impressed with, I say, yaar, wow. So there's always been a new person who I've looked up to, or where I've had to prove myself that here I am, I have to prove myself to become like that. So I've always put myself in a position where I've had to work harder to reach a better stage in life. But I think my most inspirational thing in my life has been my mother. A challenge to me means where I have to overcome it. To overcome it, I'm a very God-fearing person. I do a lot of my pujas. I believe in destiny. I believe in horoscopes. I believe in feng shui. I mean, जितने भी superstitions हैं ना life में, I believe in all of them. So I look to them. अच्छा, then I feel अच्छा, now I've done my good. now मैंने अपनी पूजा भी कर ली, अब मैंने अपने मंत्र भी कर लिए. Now I'm sure something good will come. So I take the challenge like that. I have a set goal for myself on a monthly or a yearly basis. I said, अच्छा यार अगले साल तक I have to reach here. So it is my own goal. In the last 20 years of my life, my goal was to make sure that my kids, whose responsibilities was only on my shoulders, were settled perfectly well, which they are. They are extremely good human beings. I'm very proud of. They are very simple, they're humble, they're helpful, and God has been extremely kind to them. My other goal in life was to make sure that Perfect Relations, which is a company that my husband runs, should be number one. You know, मुझे वो number one से नीचे जाना अच्छा नहीं लगता है. So I wanted him to be number one. He is number one today. God, you know, thanks to God and His goodwill and this thing. And I just, you know, we are at an age where we are not really ready to retire because age is now sort of getting at us. But we still have a lot to deliver. When I was left all alone in the world looking after my two children, and let me tell you, as you also know, that's the time when nobody comes out to help you. Relative, friends, nobody. But I must say, I had some great friends. I was at that time asked if I wanted to join politics, coming from a political family. I really didn't know anything else. But I just knew if I joined politics, I wouldn't be able to give time to my children. Then I ran a gas agency which Mr. Rajiv Gandhi had given to my mother when she became a widow. And from there I shifted to Delhi. I started a custom clearing house with a friend of mine. And so I've done various things, but the turning point in my life was when I lost my husband and I had two children and I knew I had to feed them and feed them the best. I do yoga 5 days a week and I'm very careful about my eating. But my weakness is chocolates. So then I compensate. If I want to eat a chocolate, then I don't eat lunch. Then I eat the chocolate because it has many calories. But I think I'm also lucky because I'm a Pahadi. The genes, my mother's still very fit at the age of 83. And I think it's just you know, don't eat this and eat this and yoga. And you just have to be, I think you have to zip your mouth. I'm not an early riser. I get up between 8 and 9. Dilip gets up a little early. He goes for his walk, etc. Then we, for an hour and a half, we both sit, have our tea, our bed tea, our coffees. We read 6 to 8 newspapers together. Then I do my yoga. Dilip goes off to office. I do my yoga. Then 2 hours I work. I work on my NGOs which I support in Himachal. I do my writing on different days. I look after a lot of my friends who are not well, my mother's friends, Dilip's mother, my mother. I've done a lot of social work over the years. Then I must say, I get bored when I see that the other people involved are not so committed as I am, then I change to something new. So I'm always experimenting with something new. I have a very light lunch. I usually meet a couple of friends for lunch. If I don't, I'm very happy with my dal roti. I'm not a fancy eater. And I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren every day, because that I think in itself is the biggest gift I can give them. I don't want anybody to be sad. I don't want anybody, because I've been in such a roller coaster life myself, I can't take tomorrow for granted. I hate saying, अच्छा कल देखेंगे. यार कल तो तुम पता नहीं रोगे या नहीं रोगे. My message to the viewers of the Indian story is that when you're talking about your life, don't always say all the happy stuff. Don't always say that, like I said, I became a widow and I went through a very bad time, and I'm telling you again, nobody was there to help me. उस टाइम पे सब भाग जाते हैं, तो वो ज़रूर बताइए ताकि other people get encouraged कि there is always a better tomorrow. So my thing is always be positive, always tell the truth, always face the truth. Never say कि नहीं ये ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है, and never be scared of taking new challenges. Because when you take up a challenge, you reinvent yourself.